recording. Okay, here we go. Sound, got sound. Okay. Air conditioning in a classic. We're going to put air conditioning in our classic 1968 Impala convertible. Now I need to move this. Oh, this is going to be difficult. Probably two of these. You know what would be better than doing this, Mark? If I put this one up here and just switched cameras while we're messing around with the other one. Would that be a help? Let's try that. Camera 2. So that at least doesn't jump us around while I set this camera up. Especially since I put this too far away. I don't really need to see the lights. That's not too bad. Now, that's going to be too high. This tripod was cheap, but it's cheap. How did I think I had it like this and like that. And we can switch back. Camera 1. There we go. That's pretty good. Okay. Let me kneel down. Boy, it's okay. This is gonna have to tilt up a little bit. It'd be nice if I could get it. So there, at least I'm in the shot. Okay. So we have three options for putting air conditioning in a classic car. Number one, many classics came with air conditioning from the factory, so we could go the OE route. The advantage of this is it fits the car, it's designed for the car, you know it works. The drawback is, in this case, the parts are over 50 years old, they're not reproduced, and anything you'd find is old and questionable. The second option is aftermarket. There's a lot of places that make aftermarket air conditioning systems. The positive of those are they're new and they're readily available. The drawback is they're not designed to fit the car, and you have to make them fit. And sometimes they can be a little undersized because of that. The third option is to fabricate it from scratch, a la Project Blinky. The benefit of this is you get something that perfectly fits in your car, which can be useful if it's tight packaging. The drawback is it's a lot of work in fabrication and engineering to make sure it works. We are going to go with option number 2, the aftermarket, and for a couple of reasons. One is time. It's going to be a lot quicker to install an aftermarket one than to fabricate one from scratch. And I don't want to deal with 55-year-old parts with an OE one. The second reason I want to go with aftermarket is it's very cost effective. Just roughly looking at a blower motor, a condenser, or not, just looking at a blower motor, an evaporator, and a heater core, they were like $150 a piece, new from a parts store. So that's $450 right there just for those three parts. And that doesn't include a housing, a heater control valve, diverter ducts or diverter doors with the controls for that. So just from that standpoint, I think it's going to be a wash on cost versus doing it yourself, plus saving a lot of time. Now we'll go look at the kit. So this is going to be another, oh, I should switch camera first. This is going to be difficult. If only because I can't get around the front of the car. So, I guess I'll just open the garage door and wheel it around. Hopefully quick enough so all the bugs don't come in. That was probably not a good view. Okay, the cord's in, we're good. That's gonna need work. And this is, I'm sure, gonna have to go all the way up. So maybe here. Let's do this one. I think that's a pretty good angle. Let's give it a shot. Maybe I'll start over here. There we go. Okay, here is our kit. We have the evaporator unit itself right here. And we're going to do some work on that. So we'll put it up on the bench. Then it comes with hoses. There's two sizes. This is how you get from the evap unit to the, that's how you get from the evap unit. Do this a little better. Get the hoses, which go from the evap unit to your ducts or to your outlets. We've got a bag of parts. It has some defroster ducts. It has some brackets, which we're going to be putting on. And it has some fittings and miscellaneous parts. So we're going to see whether we'll use these or the ones the ducts that came with the car. So now we will shift over here. That looks pretty good. And start looking at the instructions. Okay, step one is to install the fittings. I believe that's these. properly lubed O-rings. So the question is, does that lube come with the kit? Or are they lubed already? Supplied oil for O-rings. Not in that bundle. I think this is asphalt tack, yeah. That's for sealing holes. Yes, there is no supplied oil in there. And I doubt it's in this other box. So I'm just going to assume that they're oiled with the appropriate oil. So do these turn off or just pull off? They unscrew, and there was air, nitrogen, something in there. So the O-ring goes right there. It would be super nice if they actually included the oil that they said they included that they didn't include. So I don't know what kind of oil those things are compatible with. You know, just so I don't screw them up. Where is it? Right there. Just so I don't screw these up, we are going to use some Prytax. The DuPont guys that gave this to me said it was the best thing since sliced bread. They couldn't tell me why. I'm guessing it's because they got a really big commission selling it. Of course, I'm sure this will violate the warranty. But it's fairly inert. It was used on a space shuttle. Works in the vacuum of space. Can't be all bad. And I almost need to get that camera closer. Okay. Now we need wrenches. How big are these? Bigger. Bet you I don't have a wrench that size. Got one this size. That's 15/16, which I don't have, which means I need to use my metric crescent wrench. This would be a lot easier closer to the edge. There we go, get it snugged up. Do they have I guess you just tighten it to one ooga dooga. There we go. That is step numero uno. Now it's the brackets. Having a hard time getting those. There's 1, 2. Packing list. So these must be the no. So I can tell you right off the top, unless there's screws in here already, maybe. This should have probably gone on before. Okay, so the screws that hold this on are already in there. No, too big. And I might need an extension. Smoke! I need to get text-to-speech for this. It is a lot of work to try to do something, record it, and pay attention to chat. Yeah, I'm gonna move this camera. I was going to do it kind of overhead behind. That any better? I'll drop it down. Make everybody seasick. There, how about this? Is that a little better? That's at least got a view of it. You know, if I was paying attention, I saw a review of an Insta360 today. You should go check it out. So this is a little weird, but I guess it's better than me losing the bolts. There we go. That is not good. I hope I don't have to grind on this thing out of the box. I do. Unless this somehow magically aligns it. As you can see, this hole right here is winked, so I'm going to have to clearance that a little bit. Or I can try to smash it in there and get it cross-threaded. That'll work. Maybe even this one. No, the pointy one. That looks pretty good. There we go. Leave them loose. I think I'm going to tighten these up so I know where it's going to be, right? Because there's no holes, there's no mounting holes. I have to drill those. Follow the proper torque procedure. I think these are going to get done with a wrench. Everything's just in the way. There we go, one grunt. I think these are good. That's not a good shot. So those are good. One more bracket. This one goes on the front. I may not use both of these, but we'll have them on there while we're fitting it. It kind of fits. Not exactly. But close enough. So there we go. We've got a front bracket on, we've got our rear bracket on. And I think that's all the assembly we do before we fit it in the car. Yep, that's the next step, is located in the car. And that we are not going to do tonight. What did the kit run? This was about 800 bucks, but I bought it like 2 years ago. I'm a little bit of a slacker when it comes to this project. But I am going to take this over to, let's switch cameras. So I can move this one without making everybody seasick. And put this over in the car. With the compressor, no, that's just for the, essentially the evaporator. That housing, and then the ducting, the defroster ducts, the tubing, but not the outlets and not the controls. This is going to be a pain. Not exactly a mill. It's one of those cheap Chinese mill drills without the knee. Okay. Flippity swap. It's not too bad. So the next step will be fitting this puppy up under the dash. In here somewhere. Yeah, I think that front bracket's going to have to come back off. But that is going to be a job for tomorrow. Because I just wanted to, I don't want to cut my camcorder cable. So for streaming, OBS. OBS and StreamerBot. StreamerBot is really good. It combines Twitch and YouTube chat together. And it does a bunch of other stuff too, but that was the main thing. Although the only thing that ever comes up on Twitch is bots spamming porn sites. So we'll see where that goes. Okay, I can see this is going to be a lot of work, but thank you for joining me. Yeah, OBS is free. It's what probably 90% of the people that stream use. That Meld is supposed to be easier to use. If they had a native way to combine chat and multi-stream, I would probably try that. But they do not. So I'm going to call that a night and look at this footage and cogitate on how to get around in here a little better. So it is a triple thing. You have to do the project, you have to film the project, and you have to talk to people eventually. Okay, so I am going to end the stream. You have a good night, Mr. Smoke. And I'm sure I'll see you somewhere tomorrow.